a plexiglass box when quoting it. It is not as straightforward as width times height, whatever the depth of your object is. First, you need to know, is there going to be a frame on the inside? Is there going to be a strainer bar? Is there going to be a board? What is the backing substrate? And then what is the substrate that's going to go on top of that? So start with your drawing of what your width and your height are going to be pretty basic. It's really going to be your airspace and depth. So your strainer, whatever your strainer is going to be, you need the depth of that. You need the depth of whatever is going on top of your strainer, and then you have your airspace, the depth of your object, and then you need a little bit of room above your object. That'll give you your total depth. You need your total depth in order to get a quote. You cannot really get a quote without it. Also, what's the size of your piece? Can you get away with thicker or thinner plexi? Are your corners going to be a square, rounded? Some also have a bit of a bevel to it. This has a bevel on the top. A lot of places don't do that anymore. Also, are your sides seamless? Or do they have bubbles in it? Most of the time they have bubbles. This isn't perfectly seamless. There are bubbles within that. Seamless is more expensive. UV plexi is more expensive than not UV. That is another factor to consider. Your mat board on top. So your sides, does your mat board wrap around it? Does it not wrap around it? Is it raw? Your screw holes. A lot of little factors that you need to consider when building your plexiglass box to think about. I will attach some pictures, give you some other ideas. Hopefully it helps. I'm going to say 90% of the times people go this route. It's not very often adding a frame into it. It does drive up your cost a lot more, but does give it a different finished look to it. A big factor in the plexiglass box is going to be the actual build as well. Is your object just being simply mounted down, glued down to whatever your substrate is? Will it be sewn down? What is the actual build of the project? That can range a 20-minute to a couple hours if you're sewing something. So that you need to know what is the object, not just for the depth, but also how you will put it all together. So you need to know all these things. Hardware is typically a Z-bar or a cleat on the back of them. Not only can you do a frame on the inside of the plexiglass box, you can also do a frame on the outside of the plexiglass box. A flange can put here, and then a frame can be put here, so you can do either look and kind of cover up that space. That also changes the whole build as well for height, and then depending on what frame you pick out, there are so many options. It just depends on what you want the overall look to be. But before you can get your general quote, you do need to know what the build will be so you can get an accurate quote. I hope this helps. I'll attach some pictures. Again, the majority of plexiglass boxes, because they are expensive, just typically have the strainer on the inside or a board. And if this strainer, it starts to get too heavy, crossbars can also be built within the strainer for added support. Lots of options. The build your framer will mainly get into, but you do need to know kind of key of what you want the overall look to be before getting started. The mat choice, the build choice can all kind of be narrowed down, but you do need some more basic information than just your length and your width and the height of the object. What is the object? What do you want the look to be? And then you can start to fine-tune your quote from there. I hope this helps. Like, subscribe. Let me know any tips you have. Thanks.